Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. I'm reading for Leo energy today, and hi lovely lovely Leos. I'm going to do how you're viewing your situation, what your blind spot is and what the advice is. So when I do how you're viewing the situation, it should be a good indicator of like whether this is your reading or not, because it'll either resonate or it won't resonate. And I'm also going to be pulling how you're viewing the like your energy in the situation and the energy outside of you. So it could be other people, a situation, we'll kind of see. So just know that you can flip and reverse it as well, because there are cross watchers. People do watch for the different placements. So yeah, you can also do that if you want to go and check out other readings depending on your full birth chart, and all that good stuff. Don't forget to like the video if anything resonates, and if you haven't yet subscribed and you'd be interested in doing so, it would really help me out. I would love to get to 500 subscribers so that I can access community tools. But if you don't want to subscribe, that's fine as well. And if you've already subscribed, thank you so much. Okay, so lovely Leos, what is going on? I do have a little system of how I'm taking cards today that my guides know about. So if I put cards back in, it's because I've got that little dialogue going with my own guide, so don't worry too much about that. But if you spot anything, you think, oh, that's for me, absolutely feel free to take it. Okay, how is Leo viewing their own situation? How is Leo viewing their own situation? How is Leo viewing their own situation, please? Adjacent possibilities. Spoiler alert, Virgo gets this card too. Adjacent possibilities. Doors are opening, but which one do you choose? There's a lot of stuff in the energy, and again, I had a really odd week last week where I just couldn't do readings because it was overwhelming. So if you've ever watched the film Lucy, or if you know about that film, when I was meditating, I had that feeling of like being, like my energy being right at the beginning of the universe, right at the end of the universe. And like this whole thing about like time isn't linear, everything's happening everywhere all at once. And it was a very profound feeling. So if you watch the film Lucy, she has substances in her system that make her use 100% of her brain, and she has this kind of like I am a god thing at the end of it. And I don't think I'm a god, but that's what was given to me through meditation, this feeling of like your energy scattered, like being everything everywhere all at once and having the capacity to see everything. So it was very overwhelming, and I was getting a lot of stuff about physics and how the brain works, hippocampus and all that kind of stuff, and I was so not grounded, and I was so spacey, and every reading I did was like, it was like conspiracy theory crazy, and I was like, I just wasn't happy with any of the videos that I was recording, so I had to kind of have a bit of a week off to let that energy kind of dissipate and pass. But this card's giving me a similar feeling where it's almost like I don't know if you have this feeling like what's that film called, Sliding Doors, you know, it was Gwyneth Paltrow, this feeling of like seeing all the timelines, or being in multiple timelines at once. It feels like, I don't know, but the funny thing is, and what was really reassuring to me, is that I was getting this and I was feeling crazy in this energy. And then all my favorite tarot card readers are also saying the same kind of stuff, talking about multidimensionality, wibbly wobbly timey wimey, and you know, all these kind of things that I was picking up on and that were making me feel crazy. Like the other tarot readers are also picking up on it. So I was really reassured, a lot of fear as well, but I was really reassured that it's just something going on with Scorpio season, and it's in the energy, it's in the collective consciousness, and so we're all picking up on it. So that made me feel better because I was like, at least if I'm crazy, I'm not the only one. we're all picking up on the same thing. But I don't know, this card is giving me that. It's giving me this almost like Schrodinger's cat energy of like, you know, we think we can only go through one door at a time because we're thinking in a linear sense. But if we're thinking in a multi-dimensional way, if we suddenly go full Doctor Strange on this, it's like we can choose all the options in the moment, and we can be everywhere all at once. Okay, you're gonna have one of those readings, Leo. I'm sorry. It's funny as well. I was in work after having this crazy week, I was in work, and two of the lads in work, one of them being a Leo, one of them being a Pisces, so you're going to get that from a Pisces boy, right? They were like, we've been having these conversations this week about multidimensionality and physics and time and particle theory. And I was like, oh my God, me too. Just me and the boys going on a multi-dimensional adventure. So yeah, you could definitely be also picking up on this. It's in the air. It's in the air. It really is. Okay, what you don't know is that there are financial constraints. You can't go everywhere all at once. You can't choose every option because you haven't got the money. You've only got one coin. You've only got one coin. You can pass through one door at a time. Okay, we'll find out more information about that. That doesn't feel right to me. That doesn't feel right to me because there's also all this energy about like money's not real. You know, we're going beyond the tangible. We're going beyond the material. Like anything's possible in my all-powerful mind. So why would I need a coin to do that? But we'll see what comes out of that. I need to ground this reading. I need to, for those Leos who are like, oh my God, my left ear's ringing as well, left for love. For those Leos who are like just being really grounded and practical right now, and you're like, what are you talking about? Like my brain is not in outer space. I'm gonna try and ground it. Okay, let's get back down to earth, Virgos. Plant the roots. Am I saying Virgos? What is going on? Oh my God, what is going on? It's like Virgo's energy was all in Cancer's energy. Cancer's energy was all in Virgo's energy. You were out of the picture entirely. It's almost like we've got this Doctor Who quality of like having a lot of faces, you know, being a lot of different people. Maybe, again, to kind of ground this, to get this back down to earth, maybe you're just playing a lot of different roles. You know, maybe you've got a lot going on, so you're having to put on different faces depending on what you're doing. Sort of that energy of like, say you worked in, I don't know, say you worked in a really posh restaurant, you'd have to be a little bit, how do you do, fellow? How do you do, fellow sir? You know, you'd have to like be a little bit, oh, I'm very polite, I've got such good manners. Where it's like if you're going out playing football with your mates, you know, you're going to be a little bit more rough, a little bit more sweary. You're going to say that, you know, what you're thinking a bit more. So it's just this idea of like presenting different facets of yourself. And it's not that any of that is inauthentic, right? So we always say, Libra especially gets this a lot. Our personality, our soul, who we are is like a jewel. It's like a diamond, right? With a lot of different facets. And yes, we're going to present a different face, a different part of ourselves in different situations, because that's what we need to do as a society to be able to operate, you know, with each other. But, you know, sometimes one of those faces is not suitable for this situation, so we turn and we show a different facet. I don't know, maybe somebody has Gemini in the chart as well, or Libra gets this a lot. So it doesn't mean that it's false or inauthentic. It's just, you know, one side of our personality that we're showing because it's appropriate to do so in that situation. So what I say though is quite important to be able to, Libra gets this a lot, like shine a light through it. It's like to be multifaceted, but also to be open and transparent, right? The problems come when you start to cloud and you start to hide parts of yourself. So are you open? Are you showing all the facets? Are you being multidimensional and multifaceted, or are you trying to present as one thing while hiding the fact that you're another? What's the advice for Leo, please? It's like we're good and bad, right? It's like we're good and bad at the same time. We play a lot of roles. Some of us are a mother, a boss, a hairstylist. I don't know why that's coming through. A friend, a child. Like we're a lot of different things to a lot of different people. And maybe this is having an effect on your psyche, where it's like feeling like it's pulling you in different directions. There's a lot of things you want to do. There's a lot of things you want to be. There's a lot of faces you want to try on. But, oh, that's going a bit Hannibal Lecter. But you don't have the money to do this. You're not aware. You're not aware of financial constraints in a situation. Patience. Patience in Padawan. Okay. That's your advice. Be patient. Somebody else had like Vienna waits for you. It's like you don't have to slow down, you crazy child. You don't have to do everything all at once right now. You can do one thing at a time, right? You can do this in a linear fashion, because if you think about it in terms of time isn't real, time isn't linear. It doesn't matter if you do things like, I'm doing this today, I'm doing that tomorrow, I'm doing that next Wednesday, because technically it's all happening everywhere all at once anyway. So if you do it one thing at a time, it's still all getting completed at the same time. I know it's a weird concept. I know if it's not your thing, it's not your thing, and that's absolutely fine. It's like you've got all the time in the world to do everything you want to do. You don't have to do it. Does that make sense? It's like if you don't get it done in this lifetime, in this if you think of like multiverse, if you don't get it done in this reality, perhaps another you on a parallel dimension, a parallel timeline, is doing that thing that you want to do. It's like, okay, God, your reading's really profound, because look, they're stood here with this one. It's a clock, but it's like stood with this one pentacle is the way I'm seeing it. Like, I don't have the money to do everything I want to do, but I've got a lot of options. I've got a lot of things I want to try. So do you know what? Just pick one. So because you in this reality may be picking the green door, but you in another reality may be picking the purple door. So it's like you are doing everything. You are doing everything, but you can only get through one door at a time. So it's like, I was talking about grounding and rooting. It's like your advice seems to be, you may be, again, I'm really trying to ground this reading into what this may mean for you in a kind of actual practical reality. So you may have a lot of ideas, a lot of things that you want to try, a lot of things that you want to do, a lot of places where you want to be, you know, ideas about your future. And it's all in your head all at once. Like all this potential is all in your head all at once. But you can't sit in that, right? It's not, we are part of this 3D reality. So to pick one, right? To pick one. To know that you can unlock one door right now. And focus on that. It's almost like I'm seeing with the coin, it's almost like a slot machine. It's weird. It's like a door, but to get through the door, there's like a coin slot that opens the door. Almost like, you know, when you swipe a pass, but it's putting a coin in it. I don't know, maybe there's some kind of something that you're using that's like that. Sort of has a bit of an escape room feel to it as well. Look at the bigger picture. I feel like you are looking at the bigger picture. But it's almost like, it's got this weird feeling of like, in order to see, it's like you have this expansive view, right? You're seeing all the options. And it's like you're trying to zoom out even further to, I don't know if you're trying to see what's behind all the doors. It's like you're trying to expand your view further. Ugh. You could have Sagittarius in your chart. You could be dealing with a Sagittarius. So I'm interested in financial constraints because this is your blind spot. Tell me about financial constraints. Taking this card. Aries. So you've got all the fire signs showing up here. You're Leo. You've got Sagittarius and Aries. It's time to take action. So I feel like you could be sat in indecision. Aries is the opposite of Libra. Libra is like, I can see all these options, but I'm not prepared to invest in any of these options until I've looked behind every door. It's like, do you know what? If you want me to go through one of these doors, I'm going to open each door in turn and look into it. But it seems to be like you can't even open the door until it's like you've got one token, you can go through one door. So that Aries energy is like, you're going to have to make a decision. You're going to have to pick one. I'm getting, again, as a Libra, I'm getting some really interesting things coming through for me personally about going into the unknown. So it came through in a dream about, I've had this dream where there's been like different doors. And one door was opened by somebody else. It wasn't actually by me. This door was opened by somebody else and it was just pitch black completely behind it. It was like, almost like a black hole, like the light, you know, if you struck a match and put it in that room, you still wouldn't be able to see. It was like it was absorbing the light. And this kind of person went into that room all guns blazing. But I was like, it's like I knew. I was watching this person go into this room kind of in fighter mode, like, and I knew that there was no point. And a Virgo said to me in real life, well, surely the flare from the shots would light up the room in flashes. And I said, no, it wouldn't have. It was the darkness in that room didn't work like that. So it's like I knew watching this person go into this dark room that they were taking the wrong approach. It's almost like you've got to intuitively feel through it's like this inky blackness. But I didn't go in the room. I've gone in the room since in meditation, because I'm kind of like balls to the wall. I'm not afraid of anything, which is very Aries of me, actually. It's like, oh, you're trying to scare me, are you? I don't know. It's about my own. Again, I had a lot of fear last week, so I've been doing a lot of stuff about conquering my own fears of the unknown, which is just the work that I've been doing off camera. So, and then there was this really heavy oak door. It was like this, it was almost like sleepers, right? If you think about railway sleepers, it was like this really thick, almost like medieval, chunky door with these like, it was like all cracked. You could like, there was, I don't know, it's just so old but so sturdy and firm. It's like you could tell it'd been there for hundreds of years. It had these massive like metal like what they called hinges. It kind of did look like this door, and I had the feeling of something behind the door, not something scary. There's like something trapped behind the door. So resources, perhaps for your reading, like money trapped behind an old door. Does that make any sense? Your reading's coming through is pulling out all that profound stuff that I was getting last week, which I was trying to keep off camera, to be honest. I suddenly feel so sick. Okay. Patience. Your advice is patience. Your advice is patience. Patience for Leo. Time to breathe out. If you feel that feeling in the pit of your stomach of like nerves, because I feel like you're waiting for something, and I don't know if you've got a sense of fear or doom about it, it's like just breathe through it. Just focus on your breath, breathe through it. If it does have, and it's funny, I was singing that Billy Joel song again, somebody else had it, slow down you crazy child, right? Take a break, take a breath. You don't have to do everything right now. It just feels like take a moment, like stop trying to force all the outcomes or stop trying to project into the future and let the universe do its work. It's funny because your blind spot is time to take action in regards to finances, but your advice is patience, which I want to say, especially if you're dealing with a Virgo or you're on the cusp or you've got Virgo in your chart, definitely go and check out the Virgo reading too, because they had a very, very similar message about just pause, just wait and see what happens. Confidence is your key to success, Leo. Okay, I need to take a break and get a bit of water because I suddenly feel super sick. Hold on a second. All right, we're going to go into your energy. I'm sorry, I feel like I need to burp now. I've unpaused. It's weird that water makes you burp. Is there a message in that? Let's dissect that for a second, because anything that comes through in the reading is part of the reading. So, yeah, okay. So, why does water make you burp? Because you have... I'm sorry, it's going to be a little bit blurb, but you have like air, right? You have gas, you have bubbles in your tummy, and so when you put water in, it forces the bubbles up, right? Because air is lighter than water. So again, we're going back into physics. Air's lighter than water. So if you've got air in a space and you put water into it, the air is forced up and out. So I watched a movie last night called The Grey Man with Ryan Gosling. I have this thing where I used to have really bad face blindness. It's actually getting better because I don't drink as much. Surprisingly enough, alcohol affects your memory system. But yeah, I used to have this really bad problem where I couldn't tell the Ryans apart. I think there's like 3 Hollywood Ryans and I couldn't tell them apart. They were all the same person to me. And I do have this thing with Hollywood actors where I think they all look generic Ken doll, and I just can't tell them apart. The same with I was talking about it, the guy who plays Captain America. There's like lots of Chris's that I get confused as well. I don't know what the guy who plays Captain America, I don't know what he looks like. I cannot picture his face at all. I try and picture his face and I see Superman. I get the Chris's confused. Chris Pratt, Chris Rock, Chris Evans. Like, I get all the Chris's confused. I can't tell them apart and I get the names mixed up. And it's the same with the Ryans. So there's like Ryan Reynolds, Ryan Gosling, and I'm starting to be able to tell them apart now, where I couldn't do that in the past. So I think it's Ryan Gosling. In that movie, in Grey Man, and there's a scene in it, and I don't want to spoil it too much in case you haven't watched it, but where that dynamic comes into play, where, you know, there's a space and it's full of air and water goes into it, and it's, you know, the water level rises, the air comes out. It seems to be something in that. I do think one of my guides, or somebody I'm connected to, is either a physicist or they're studying physics, because I get physics in my readings quite a lot. So, forcing the air out by filling it with water. I mean, if you're talking about people, that would force me out of a situation. I'm an air sign, and if I look at my birth chart, I think I've got like 1 water placement, 2 water placements maybe, but they're quite minor. I do not have a lot of water in my chart. I've got a lot of air in my chart. And if I'm around people who have a lot of water in the chart, especially like low vibrational water signs, I cannot stand it. Like, I cannot stand it. I'm like, you're not logical. You're so emotional. Like, I don't understand you. Yeah, I couldn't be in an environment that was full of, like, you know, like low vibrational Cancerians who are like really all about the drama. I'd be like, I've got to get out of here. So I don't know if there's like a situation it's filling up with people with water sign placements, and the air signs are like, I can't. Again, not bad mouthing anyone. Like, we're all different people, different charts. You know, you have high vibrational and low vibrational versions of every sign. Okay, what are we doing here? 9 of Cups. So we're talking about your own happiness. Your own happiness, no matter who's around you, no matter what other people are doing, not letting other people's emotional energy affect you, but having the inner happiness and the inner light that you can protect that. You can protect your own energy, and it's like you're not giving your power away to anyone. So you're not relying on anyone else for your happiness. It's like knowing what you need to do to come into balance, knowing what you need to do to be happy in a self-reliant kind of way. It's like, you know, I can be surrounded by people. I can be surrounded by people who love me. I can be surrounded by people who hate me. I can be, you know, around other people's emotions. But no matter what's going on in my external environment, inside, emotionally stable, emotionally good. I know how to disengage my energy from everybody else's energy. Moving on from something. So mentally and emotionally moving on from something. So I feel like if there's been things that have impacted you in the past, because you've got that look at the bigger picture energy, I feel like you're learning how to move on from it. I feel like spirit is your guide. Oh, very independent. Wow. Leo, very, very independent. Emotionally independent, financially independent. No self-reliance here. No codependency here whatsoever. You're not relying on anyone else for money, for resources, for your own physical well-being or your own emotional well-being here. Or this is what you're aiming for, but you've got options. You've got different possibilities of how to achieve this. But this is the goal. This is the aim. How do I completely disentangle myself from everybody else's energy and stand on my own 2 feet here? And that, again, that doesn't mean that you have to go into hermit mode. That's not what's here. You don't have to like go and be a hermit in the woods and live a single life forever and never have any friends. That's not what that's saying. This is saying you're going to be the best kind of friend because you're not going to be the needy kind of friend, right? It's like you're going to be the kind of friend who's like, or the kind of partner who is like, I'm a strong and stable Leo. I'm a strong and stable Leo. I'm showing up in a way where I can give to other people without depleting myself, and engage in relationships and work or whatever it is in a way where I'm not depleting others. You know, it's actually very, very healthy. It's the best place you can possibly be in order to socialize with others or get into relationships, because there's no attachment. It's funny as well, you've got attachment on the bottom of this deck. There's no attachment. There's no attachment issues. So there's nothing that you're chained to, right? You can show up in a very free way. It's like you're not dragging anyone else around with you. You're not relying on anyone else's money. You know, you can be where you want to be when you want to be there. Very, very strong. What's financial constraints though? Because this is hidden. I'm wondering if it's you or somebody else. Why is financial constraints here? Okay, so you are looking to explore relationships. It's got that feeling of like, emotionally, I need to fill my own cup so that I'm not taking too much from anyone else, or and I'm in a position to give to other people without depleting myself. So kind of what I was saying. But I want to say there is an intention here to open your heart to people and to make an offer to somebody, to present your feelings to somebody. But you've got financial constraints and time to take action, and this is hidden from you. You can do a lot with that one coin, this is saying. With the Magician card, the Magician can make something out of nothing, which is funny because that came through in somebody else's reading as well. Oh, there's two cards there. Again, I've got a little system with my guides today. I know whether to take the cards or not. No. Okay, I think they're telling me something. Let me just get a card and then I'll kind of tell you what I was getting. There we go. Okay, yeah, this is unknown. I do have this feeling, perhaps you do scry. You know, you have a crystal ball, or you see images in water or something like that, right? It's like, I'm seeing it kind of like this. So, okay. So first, before I tell you what I'm getting here, two cards kept coming out, and my guides know that I'm not going to take two cards if they face down. If they face up, I take the top card that I can see. If they face down, I'm going to put them back in. My guides know that I've got this technique going with this set of readings. So, but they kept insisting on giving me two cards. And you have all this stuff about being independent, and this is what's hidden from you. And there was the song that they were giving me was It Takes Two. It takes two, baby, me and you. It just takes two. Maybe you're playing that computer game, I don't know. One can have a dream, baby. Two can make that dream so real. Okay. So you have one token here, and I don't know if this token is like a pentacle or a cup. Maybe you've got one of each thing. You've got, because the Magician would typically have a pentacle, a cup, a sword, and a... What am I missing here? Pentacle, cup, sword. That's what it is. You're missing something. You're missing something. You've got the pentacle, you've got the cups, you've got the swords. And it's like it's been removed from my brain. The other... wands. You've not got the wands. You've got a pentacle, you've got a cup, you've got the sword, you've not got the wand. You think you've got financial constraints. You're perceiving this as, I haven't got the money to do this. It's not money that's the problem. It's the passion. And the passion's here with It's Time to Take Action, new moon in Aries. So you are missing a resource. The Magician can make anything happen with very limited resources. The Magician knows how to create abundance. But you're trying to work with three of the tools and you're missing the fourth. And this is what's unknown to you. This is why you can't see. It's like you're trying to see into the future here, right? You're trying to see behind all those doors. And you can't see behind all those doors because you need the wand. You need the Ace of Wands, which is like the spark lit inside you, the impetus to do it. So it's almost like you're sat there waiting for the starting gun to fire. Okay, so your advice is patience. Take time to breathe out. Patience, take time to breathe out. So you're walking a tightrope in some sort of situation and you're trying to gain more information. This is really watch and wait energy. The Page of Swords is kind of like, I always say it's like somebody who's information gathering, or it's somebody who's doing recon. So it's somebody who's sitting a situation out because they're waiting to see what happens, which is a good strategy. This is what the universe is telling you to do. Nope, too many cards. Two of Cups with the Lovers there. Just, I'm not taking the Lovers, but I'm showing it you. Two of Cups. So it takes two, right? This is coming through clearly that at one point, and I want to say your current situation, perhaps it's really important to you to gain this level of independence where you're not being emotionally reliant or financially reliant on anyone else, right? You've got this independence going, which I want to say at the time, because of whatever's happened in the past, was very, very important to you. But you are missing the spark. You are missing the flame. You are missing that kind of Aries drive. And I feel like the only way that you're going to get that passion that's going to allow you to see behind all those closed doors is to partner up with somebody here. But you're going to partner up with somebody who is a match to you. Their energy is equivalent to yours. So you're not going to be looking for anyone who's codependent. You're not going to be looking for anyone who's financially tied up to anything else. You're looking for somebody who is presenting with this energy, right? Who's like, I have the freedom to show up in the way that you're showing up. And then it's like there's going to be a fire lit between you, which is going to get you to do whatever it is that you're trying to do. So what else, please? They're giving me, it's from Eurovision. I'm checking you out. I'm checking you out. So you're checking somebody out. Taking it slowly, figuring out if this is the person that you want to team up with or not. And this isn't saying, again, I don't know what this is for you. I don't know if this is romance or work. Just to really, really make it clear that this is an energy that comes from within, right? This is really, it's kind of like a mindset. So just if you're looking for somebody who carries this energy, especially if this is like business, this person could be married, they could have children, you know, they could run their own business. So it's not saying that they don't have any responsibilities, like they're like a fucking plastic bag blowing around in the wind. That's not who this person is. You know, they could be actually, you know, very, very mature. They could have a lot of commitments, but they have a level of perhaps their income or their resources, their finances that does allow them to do things independently. So, you know, they're married, they run their own business, they want to come and have a business meeting with you, they can absolutely do that. They can hop on a train, they've got the finances. Just to kind of clarify, it doesn't necessarily mean somebody who's completely single, like doing their own thing. Maybe it is an Aries, I don't know. Like it could be, but I don't know. Just because this person, because the Nine of Pentacles energy, they're actually very good at investing in a lot of things and keeping a lot of things running. You know, it's just that they can delegate well, you know, they're not tied up to things. Very, very capable. So what do we have over here, please? And again, it's like, it doesn't, Nine of Cups doesn't mean you haven't got any friends. Nine of Cups is like you're showing up for your friends in the best possible way because, again, it's not dependent, no, there's no attachment issues. You know, you're not coming with that kind of emotional baggage. It's somebody who can show up and have a good time and take it for what it is, right? And not get too in the head about it. Are we getting anything else here for Leo? No crying over spilt milk. That came out in the reverse. 5 of Cups. Disappointment. Things didn't work out. So again, looking back at this energy doesn't sit there in the spilt milk energy. This energy doesn't sit there going, woe is me. Oh, I'm so sad. That person didn't like me back. This person goes, oh, that didn't work out. Okay, where's my 2 of Cups? You know, that didn't work out. Let's mop up the spilt milk. It is what it is. Tomorrow's another day. Okay, very healthy, very, very healthy. And this is showing us your energy, right? So learning how to move on quickly and not get overly attached. Not in a heartless way either, in a healthy way. In a healthy way that you're like, do you know what? If that didn't work out, then I'm glad it's over, right? If that wasn't meant to be, then I'm glad I've got that out of the way so that I can move on to the next thing. You know, I've got memories, I've got good memories of the good times. I'm going to take those forward. Any kind of, and it's not as well, it's not bottling things up. You know, this is not an energy of bottling things up and kind of letting it fester. This is an energy of being like, I accept that I've got feelings of disappointment. I accept that I've got feelings of, I wish that could have gone better, but it's over now. It is what it is. And I'm just going to kind of take the lessons and remember the good times and move forward with that. It's just mature. It's just maturity rather than codependency. So tell me about the 9 of Cups. So now we're asking about other people or situations around you. 9 of Cups. Why is Leo in 9 of Cups energy? Tell me about 9 of Cups for Leo. There's the spark. There's the Ace of Wands. Interesting. So there's the Ace of Wands. And you're moving forward here. You don't have it, because these, again, these 2 situations are parallel. This is how you're viewing the situation. This is what you're not seeing. You're not seeing that you need the wand. I don't know. You need the wand. You need to have a good time. You need to get a bit of wand, Leo. You don't see that. I'm not sure. Let me keep going. I knew the Ace of Wands was going to come out over here somewhere. You're trying to move on from a situation. There's an opportunity to revive a situation here, to bring something back, but you're moving on from it. What's the 9 of Pentacles? Lover's card. You do seem to be aware of that you have choices in romantic relationships. I'm going to say romantic relationships, but I'll give you an alternative in a second. You do seem to be aware that perhaps the universe is really guiding you here. You've got this little bird here that's taking this pentacle. You've got all these birds here that are pulling this boat forward. You've got these 2 archangels on these 2 cards. This is Archangel Gabriel. I don't know who it is on the Lover's card. You feel this perhaps sense of divinely guided romance, or the angel is guiding you to options, and you are aware that you had to get into, that you didn't want to enter into any divinely guided romances with this sense of attachment, you know, bringing attachment issues with you, or bringing clinginess or codependency with you. You're aware that you need to show up in the energy that matches the thing you want, right? So if you're going after an emperor or an empress, you have to be the emperor or empress, right? So it's like working on yourself to get yourself into a good place, to choose from healthy places rather than choosing from needy places. So there does seem to be a choice point coming up for you. Again, it doesn't have to be romantic. If it's not romantic for you, it's something to do with investing your heart. But you do seem to have options. And there could be relationships that offer a lot, but you're really looking for that spark. You're really looking for the passion, because that's what you don't have, right? Are you going to revive a situation? There's an opportunity to revive a situation. It is a choice in love. The answer seems to be no. The answer seems to be I'm moving forward. I'm mentally getting myself out of that old situation because I feel divinely guided to a new situation, but I need to work on my independence first. I need to build up my resources. I need to be in a good place. And really, it's like being excited to show up for yourself or something like that. It's tricky to read, honestly. So then you hear with the cups, the pentacles, the swords, magician energy, you need that spark to get started on something. You're unaware of, you don't know what's behind all those closed doors. It's like it's like right. It has this feeling, especially with the moon card being there, of like, I know I can only pick one option. So I'm not showing up and two-timing people or anything like that. It's like, I know I have choices here of where to invest my heart. And whichever door I pick, this situation is going to increase with the magician there. And you're really trying to check each option out, right? You really have this idea of like spying through the keyhole or trying to get sight of what's behind the door. But it seems like the universe is intentionally hiding this from you. And you really are placing your trust and your faith in the universe here. Because I think you do have a sense that the universe is guiding you forward for your own betterment, right? You were accepting that the universe is teaching you lessons. But where is the passion? Because that's the missing piece here, isn't it? Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups, Ace of Cups. There's somebody who matches you. You have got... And it's in your blind spot. I don't think you know. It's like you don't know which one it is. You don't know which is the right option. But there's somebody showing up for you here as your Two of Cups, right? They are matching you. Both of your cups are overflowing, right? Neither of you is going to be codependent in this relationship. The only thing, it's just gonna grow and grow and grow here. Just thinking about the water filling up the space again and pushing the air out. The water filling up the space. Emotions. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little vision that I had. I've been seeing the waterfall card a lot, and I've been getting the cave energy myself quite a lot. The cave is normally symbolic of Capricorn energy, so you could be dealing with a Capricorn. I'm Libra. It doesn't have to be those signs, but the cave analogy came through in the extended reading for Awakening to Spirit yesterday, which I did pay. It's my first time ever paying for an extended reading because I was like, oh my God, this feels like it's for me. Especially because I've been getting cave imagery. I've been spending this time in this cave in meditation. And it has been filled with water. The really funny thing is as well, my daughter had a very, very similar dream where she was in a cave and it was filled with water. And there's these like mythical creatures in it as well. And then I had this symbology of the waterfall, and it was talking to me about, because like the empty cave is like a cold hard heart, right? Cold hard heart. It's somebody who's their emotions have been exhausted, right? There's nothing left for a situation, in which case your heart hardens, right? And so Capricorn, for the longest time, we're getting this analogy of like water seeping into the cave because you can't stop it. You can't stop it. If you think about how caves work and how water works in caves and how, caves flood with water and things like this, it's like, and it's as well like that scene from Grey Man. There seems to be something about like water moving through an empty space. But then the waterfall analogy with the King of Cups in reverse, it was like, as your heart fills up with water, right? As your cup fills up with water, as your emotions grow, maybe like learning to let love in again, something like that, this kind of analogy. And again, I feel like it's collective. It's coming through in a lot of different ways. It's like your heart fills up with water. The cave fills up with water as a symbolism for the heart. And water has a funny way of moving through the kind of different cave systems, and it's like it came out like a waterfall. It came out almost like, is it like something in the Goonies where that happens, where like water bursts through, you know, like it drips through a crack, and then suddenly the pressure builds up, and then it's like the wall of the cave bursts open, all this water pours out. So this waterfall suddenly being seen and unstoppable. It's like once the water breaks through, right? It's like if you think about the molecules of water and how they, you know, liquid flows, it's like the pressure building up. Once it gets out, it's very hard to put it back in again. It's very hard to stop that flow. It's like that is an open source now for the water to flow from. So, and with the King of Cups in reverse, again, it's got this feeling of like there's no stopping it. There's no stopping these emotions. It's like the scene now. It's like the water's flowing. So are you trying to see into somebody's heart? Are you trying to see into somebody's emotions? The Magician then. Because they match you. It's like their cup also overflowing. They feel out in the cold. They feel rejected. They feel out in the cold. They feel abandoned. They're in need of charity. They're not in the Nine of Pentacles like you are. They're in need. Tell me about the Moon, because this is what's hidden from you. Painful ending. This person's had some kind of painful ending. They feel betrayed. It's like they match you, right? The heart's overflowing. Emotionally at least they match you. I don't think they're in Nine of Pentacles energy. But that's what you're looking for, right? You're looking for an emotional match. You're not looking for somebody who's... Because you have a level of comfort, right? You have a level of... I feel like somebody else had a similar reading to this. You have a level of... Was it Aries? It was Aries. Oh my God, are you dealing with an Aries? Or do you have Aries in your chart? Check out Aries' reading as well. They had the same situation. It's like you have a level of comfort. You have a level of... I don't have to worry about money. You know, I've got a comfortable home. I've got a good job. And like Aries was... They were really, really excited for... It was like a friend coming to visit them. And they were going to ask this friend to stay with them. It's creepy because like it's like this friend, wherever this friend was, they didn't have the same opportunities. It was almost like this friend was living out in the country, right? There wasn't as many jobs available, where this person was kind of like living in the city. They had a really good city job, you know, a lot of money in the bank account. So it's hidden from you. And again, this is hidden from you, that this person doesn't have any money. But in Aries' reading, it was like Aries was saying, the money doesn't matter, right? I'm lucky that I have this, and I want to share it with you because you are important to me. Like you're an emotional match for me. You make me feel really good. You make me feel happy when I spend time with you. So I want to share my home with you. I want to share my resources with you because you're important to me. Because matching on an emotional level is more important than matching on a financial level. You could marry for money and be miserable, right? You could, you know, be on a dating app. Say you're on a dating app and it's one of these dating apps for professionals. It's like meet other professionals. It's like, okay, you're meeting people who, you know, they have a similar job to you. They have a similar level of wealth to you. But maybe it is a Cinderella story. Maybe like your perfect person who matches you emotionally and makes you feel good doesn't have a job right now. You know, it's like... And if you're on a dating app, maybe because this could be a dating app, maybe you're on a dating app where like you're looking for all these professionals and you're not finding the person for you. And like Spirit's like, come over here. The prince has been coming up a lot as well in my readings. It's like getting the prince to go on his horse ride so he can meet Cinderella, right? It's like, yeah, it's, it has that feeling to it. This person doesn't have it. This person doesn't have the money. They don't have the resources. They've suffered some kind of ending or loss. They're in pain. And yet there's still the Two of Cups for you. What's the Page of Swords? So you're being patient, you're waiting patiently because you can't see behind closed doors, right? You don't know what's happened to this person. It's behind closed doors. Because they're defensive. They're protecting themselves. They're defensive about what's going on for them. But they're standing up for themselves. They're standing the ground. What's the Two of Cups? What's the Two of Cups? Okay, that's too many, but I'm going to take the King of Wands. This person has the wand. This person has the wand. This person has what you need. And it's like they fucking know how to use it, right? I don't know if this is like a woohoo thing. They know how to use that wand. They know how to. They've got the passion. It could be an Aries. King of Wands though will be Leo, which is you. But they're showing up as a match to you. They're showing up. They match your energy. They match your drive. They match your enthusiasm. They match your spark, right? Which is what's missing from your situation. So this person matches you emotionally, and they're bringing to the table the thing that you need because you don't have it. Again, it could be you're dating people and you just don't have that spark with people. You have the spark with this person, but they don't have the money. It's like, are you going to choose money or are you going to choose the thing that the universe knows that you need? Five of Cups in reverse. Temperance. Temperance. Patience and Padawan. This person's being patient. Again, I feel like they see you. They showed us the Two of Cups. And not only are they showing up as igniting your fire or having the capacity to do that and being your emotional equal, they're showing up with temperance, which is literally like, I know that it shows them mixing water, but I read temperance as mixing fire and water. It's Sagittarian energy. So much fire in this reading. It's the alchemy of the emotion and the passion to create something new. Look at me, I'm checking you out. All right, that's your reading. So I'm going to get something like a totem for you to watch out for. So just make a quick note of this. Maybe it's like a mental note. Watch out for it for the next week or so, because it's going to be a sign from spirit to get your attention, to point you in the right direction. Okay, so what should Leo look out for this week, please? What should Leo look out for? Mirrors. Okay, mirrors. Maybe you do scrying. Watch out for mirrors. Maybe you see an interesting mirror. Maybe there's something with... Do you know what I was seeing as well? The image that I was seeing when I was talking about this, I was watching... Again, I was channeling it. I was channeling this program without realising I was channeling it. And then I watched it and I was like, oh, that's why I was getting that thing. And that's why I was getting that thing. And it's like, it makes it less scary for me. Because like, if I channel something that's really dark, I can be like, oh my God, what is this? And then it's like to see it on screen and be like, oh, I've just been channeling a movie again. It's reassuring to me. But I do think that art imitates life, and you know, art is a so films and media and songs, it's a manifestation of the collective consciousness. So it's stuff that's going on in our psyche anyway. So it's kind of like, yes, it's a movie, but it's also reflecting our subconscious. So I've been watching this TV show called The Devil's Hour, which is really confusing because it's got Peter Capaldi in it, and he was in another TV show with a very similar title to The Devil's Hour, but Hour had a W on the front and an E on the end. So it's really weird to me that I don't know, that's like this weird parallel as well. But yeah, when I was talking about like the wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff, I was seeing, which of course Peter Capaldi was Doctor Who, right? But there's the imagery, the marketing imagery, and the art of this, like the framing of this shot is Peter Capaldi sat at a desk with all these mirrors behind him. It's like the marketing promotion thing, so I'm not giving you any spoilers. Like, this is what they're using to market it, this TV show, Peter Capaldi at this desk with all these mirrors reflecting him, you know, like when you're in between two mirrors. So it's funny that mirrors should come out. I wish I'd said it when I was getting it. Okay, pay attention to mirrors. Again, I don't know if you scry. I don't know. Maybe you're just going to see an interesting mirror. Maybe something, I don't know. Pay attention to mirrors. It's a sign from spirit. And let's get you a song for this as well. So how can we help Leo pick the right door, please? Can we help Leo know where to put that coin to unlock, to find the person who's going to bring this missing piece to them? How will Leo choose correctly? Okay, I've got an advert, but it was Kingston Town by UB40. Okay, I'm going to read some of the lyrics, but I think we all know the lyrics to Kingston Town, right? Why are the lyrics so hard to find, though? Kingston Town UB40 lyrics. Oh, Kingston Town, the place I long to... Why are the lyrics so hard to find? What is that about? Maybe it's because people don't look them up because everybody knows the lyrics. Okay, here we go. The night seems to fade, but the moonlight lingers on. There are wonders for everyone. The stars shine so bright, but they're fading after dawn. There is magic in Kingston Town. Kingston Town, the place I long to be. If I had the whole world, I would give it away just to see girls at play. And when I am king, oh my God, I've got full body goosebumps. When I am king, surely I would need a queen and a palace and everything. Now I'm king and my queen will come at dawn. She'll be waiting in Kingston Town. Guess you're going to find the love of your life in Kingston Town. I don't know. Take it as it resonates. And the universe moves in very funny ways. So, you know, take that as a sign. So mirrors, Kingston Town by UB40. Maybe somebody's 40. Can relate. So, I don't know. Take it as it resonates. Leave it if it doesn't. I'm going to try not to imprint my own stuff onto it. But I'm going to leave it there. And you'll know, right? You'll know the right door because you'll feel those butterflies, you'll feel that enthusiasm, you'll feel that spark of things stirring inside you, right? It's gonna feel exciting, it's gonna feel good, it's gonna give you that Aries Mars energy. So if it doesn't feel like that, it's not the right door. All right, I hope that was helpful for you. Do take care of yourselves. Take it if it resonates. If it didn't resonate, leave it. And I will see you again soon. Bye, friends.